So I'm Erin Plash, and this is my co-president, Stacy. We are in our second year of being co-presidents. I have a 4th grader at Meadowbrook and a 7th grader at North.
And I have a 4th grader and a 6th grader at Meadowbrook.
And in the last few meetings, we haven't taken time to go around robin and everybody introduce themselves. But if you are so inclined, feel free to unmute or introduce yourself in the chat. That is totally welcome.
Unmute. I'm Kate Hurley. I have a 2nd grader at Meadowbrook.
Awesome. Welcome, Kate.
I'm Emily Wells. I have a kindergartner and a 2nd grader.
Oh, awesome. And we got a couple in the chat, Jen and Emily and Heidi introducing themselves. We'll start with I sort of mentioned that we are in our 2nd year of being presidents. Just kind of to put it out there that we will be looking for hopefully somebody or two to step up for a position we're going to try to call president-elect, somebody that would take over in the following year after, because with the new grade configuration, Stacy and I's last year at Meadowbrook is next year. So in the hopes to have a smooth transition for anybody that wants to maybe move into the position. In addition to that, we also have Dave Dutcher. I don't think he's on yet, but he's our treasurer and he's in his 3rd year and was hoping to kind of phase out. Also, he will have a 6th grader next year.
Yep, so he'll also be in his last year at Meadowbrook next year.
Yep. So that's our plug for some big asks for the coming year.
Yes, and there's also a number of positions that will be open next year, or even if they aren't, if it isn't somebody moving on, just if there are areas of interest that people look at throughout the year and say, hey, that'd be really fun to work on. Always reach out to us and let us know if that is something of interest, and we can certainly help find the perfect spot for you to be.
Awesome. And our first item of business is going to be Ms. Sawatzky's update with all the happenings. Go ahead, Natalie.
All the happenings, then it's like, oh no. I guess what I was going to say first is just a huge thank you to all the parents who contributed signs. A couple weeks ago when we came back to school, there were all the signs in the front or on every entrance door that just thank staff, and it was just a super great gesture of appreciation, and I think it set a really great tone for the week that we had. So it was great. Thank you for everyone who gave their time and energy and just the thoughtfulness that went behind that. Then I was going to make sure that you gave it COVID. I gave a COVID update. So we are in a much better place than we were even a week ago or 2 weeks ago. 1 week or 2 weeks ago, I guess it was probably 2 weeks ago when we came back from, I guess for 2nd semester, I guess you'd call it. We were experiencing 20% of our student body being out ill. And not all of those 20% had COVID, but they were experiencing symptoms, or they were staying home because they were worried about getting sick. And today we're at about 5% of our student body being out absent. So we've seen a huge decrease in numbers of students testing positive as of lately. And we're just feeling like maybe we are in a better place for now. And then last, my other update is this week our 6th graders are at Starbase. And that is always supported by PTO because they pay for buses. And Starbase is one of kids' favorite field trips. Sometimes it's in 4th, sometimes it's in 5th. Our current 6th graders never had the chance to go in 4th or 5th due to COVID. So we're happy that they get to go this year. And then we'll get back to going in 4th or 5th in the future. So I think that's really all my updates today. Unless you have specific questions, I'm always open to answering whatever questions people are wondering about.
Well, thank you, Natalie. We
Yeah.
always appreciate you being here, and
If you think of anything, feel free to either put it in the chat, or Natalie's really open to emails of questions. I've really appreciated that about you, Natalie, that you're just easy to talk to and ask and get good answers. You ready?
We're ready.
All right. So we have our guest speaker today is Kate Blaser. Is that right, Kate? Oh, Kate Hurley, do you have a question? No. Okay. You thought I was saying Kate. Yes, you're on. Your role, tell us a little bit about your role in the district, and we are looking forward to hearing some more information about supporting our students' well-being.
Yes. Can you hear me all right?
Yes.
I'm using headphones because I have a 2.5-year-old who's just right outside the door. So, trying to get as much sound out as possible.
Yeah.
But I am a parent educator with Hopkins School District. So I work at Harley Hopkins Family Center. I mainly work with 0 to 5-year-olds and families, but this is just such an amazing topic and such an important topic, not only for our 0 to 5-year-olds, for our elementary students, high school, and parents and everybody. How can we support each other during stressful times, which we've all had enough of these past couple of years. So am I just going right in? We're good? Okay. All right. So I'm going to share my screen here. I bear with me. I am new to not in person. And now it's bringing me up to, anyone know how to do this easily? It's bringing me up to my security and privacy.
Oh, I was gonna say I'm pretty proficient at Zoom, but if it's trying to ask you for security stuff, I don't know about that.
Okay, so I'm sharing my screen. I'll maybe wait. So it is maybe Google Chrome.
Share screen and then just pick screen.
Tap one and share.
Yeah.
And then it's saying to security and privacy grant access. Oh, I'm so sorry. I wish I would have done this before. Security and privacy grant access.
Kate, do you have a presentation that you could email
Yeah. I was gonna say,
to
Good. Yeah,
somebody
I
that
absolutely
could then share their screen?
Yes. Oh, wait, I think I can do this. Privacy grant access. Okay. Screen recording. Yes, I don't know how to do this, but yes, I have a Google. So let me share.
You can just email it back to the PTO, the one we were
Great.
connecting on.
Great. It's actually, so it's a Google Slides. Can I just share it?
Share it, sure.
Okay. I'm so sorry to take up this time. Let me see. Okay. All right, that is shared now.
Okay.
Now.
Okay. I'm about as proficient at Zoom.
In the meantime, I will try to figure this out quickly. So while everybody gets it.
There.
Oh, beautiful.
How about now?
That's gorgeous. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Whew, little troubleshooting. I appreciate you all. Okay, so yes, like as I said, we've all had more than enough, more than enough stress in this crazy year. With as you said, with 20% of our students being out, that means they're taking out their day-to-day life. That means that teachers are, more inconsistent than we ever want them to be, and so just to take a moment and figure out how we can help not only our students but also ourselves during this busy time. So what I want you to think about is just how you as I'm kind of going through this, is think about your own student and how they manage their stress. What does it look like when they're feeling stressed? What is it? What does it sound like? What's your environment like? Are you feeling stressed as well? What is that environment like? And just to think about what we're, how the environment is, and if some of this stuff is going to apply to you. some things are going to sound really great for your family, and some things may sound, that it's just not going to work for your family. And that's okay, because we're all unique and we're all different, and we all have to be authentic to ourselves in our parenting. So if you want to go to the next slide. So something as a preemptive measure, what we can always do, and I'm sure we've heard a lot about this, especially in Hopkins, is just put a foot forward with these kind of restorative measures, and just to think about these preemptive measures of how we can just face challenges in a productive way. Things to lessen our stress, things to, just to be more mindful and intentional about the challenges we face. So here's a couple of ideas for just to kind of grounding techniques. If you're feeling like your student is feeling stressed or like really overwhelmed with either a project or a sporting event or anything that can happen in their life, just to think about, okay, let's take a beat. Let's think about 5 things we can see and name them all. And this could be a silly game, right? A chance to get out of your norm and just to kind of think. And 4 things we can hear, and 3 things we can touch, 2 things we can smell, 1 thing we can taste. Take a moment, ready, let's revisit. So just to kind of these proactive ways of like, we understand that there are challenges and you can face these challenges. Let's take a minute either together or by yourself, whether we go for a walk, let's do 10 jumping jacks, let's, just have a cup of tea together, have, those things that, whatever is going to help your child and their temperament during those times. There, you're sipping your tea. Yes, this is your grounding moment. I love that. So, so this, yes, again, a more preventative measure. But if you're also seeing that anxiety starting to amp up or that stress starting to amp up, no matter what the situation is, to kind of like, okay, I think we need a break. Let's take a break and we'll do some, either have a connection time or a grounding moment. Can head to the next one. So this is I really like this visual about just kind of the 7 essential mental activities. This pie chart is going to look different in everybody's home. It's where our priorities lie, what we do most of is going to look different, but just to know and to kind of be mindful and think about what our students may be missing sometimes, because not every day is going to look like that. Not every day is going to have, as much connection time as we want to, or as much play and free time as we want to. But to think about as we're, we're kind of getting out in the world, activities are all starting up and things are, busier than they were a year and a half ago. We just want to make sure that we're still getting that downtime in. We're still getting that playtime in, that focus time in. And of course, sleep is the most important part in that. And that physical time. So just to see kind of where, like, if we're like, okay, we've just felt stressed the last couple of days, like, what do we need more of in our lives? So just to think about what this pie chart looks like in your home, what could be missing, and where we need to put a little bit more effort and priority into, because sometimes we forget that playtime is so important after early childhood, right? And so just that time and allowing to give your children time to sit and process their day through play or through something fun or connecting time with family and friends, and is all important and not to be forgotten. Can go to the next one. So once we start to get stressed, there's lots of things that happen in our bodies, and they can be really difficult to deal with and manage, and also difficult for a parent to help someone manage these really difficult emotions, because as your kids are getting older, these emotions are becoming more complex, right? So they're sometimes we don't know how to help them through this, but this is kind of a step-by-step guide to either help them or teach them how to do this on their own. But really just thinking about emotions, and also that they can be really difficult, but also they can be really positive. And there are reasons why we have these emotions, right? And they're not always negative reasons why we might feel a negative emotion. So first one, turn towards acceptance. We all have emotions. They are there, they are real. Just knowing what's going on. So kind of in an example, I've been asked to listen all day. I can't focus on my homework, but I'm afraid of failing. or I feel a lot of pressure for this game and I don't want to let my team down and I'm really stressed and nervous about it. The second one would be to just label that emotion and just to say, this is what it feels like to be anxious or afraid or stressed or overwhelmed. You can sense it in your body. My tummy starts to hurt, like I'm feeling a little shaky. I just can't focus, whatever that looks like in your child, to be able to feel that emotion and just say, this is what that feels like when you are scared or anxious. Number three, to accept those emotions. Don't deny that they're there sometimes. I mean, we try to put on a brave face and things like that, which is all great and a coping mechanism for a lot of people. But the more we deny them, I feel like the stronger that they get underneath, at least, and at a certain point it bubbles up. So the more that we accept them as they come and are able to deal with them as they come, it's just not as much of a battle to overcome. So we all feel anxious from time to time, thinking about what can I do with these emotions? Like, how do I get that energy out? What can I do productively to help resolve it? Number four, to realize the impermanence of these emotions. And I also think, as I touched on before, to realize the importance of these emotions, right? If we talk about stress can be an amazing motivator, right? Without stress, we don't, it's harder to meet deadlines, it's harder to perform and go that extra mile, because we all can recognize when stress has played an important role in our lives. So that these feelings are really, really good sometimes. And then 5, to inquire and investigate. So really dig down. This is digging down deep into, why am I feeling this so strongly, right? Why am I feeling this emotion so, why is this overwhelming me so much? And, it could be because, I care how I perform. I want my teacher to be proud of me. I don't want to let my team down. I also care about how people think. Or what people think of me. So just to kind of think about what is actually at the bottom of these emotions, and only when we start to dig down deep and find those things is when we can start to deal with them, right? So, and then number 6 is to let go of the need to control your emotions. We all know we have them. We all know they're there. We all know that we can control some things and we can't control some things. So really just to focus on what you can control, right? So now I'm feeling this, I need to get this done. I need to do said thing. So now I'm going to make a prioritized list, because I know what helps when I feel this way. So the goal for our students is to help them through these emotions, and also then to know, so they can master them, right? They know what's going to help themselves when they're feeling this way. They know that they need to take a walk, or they need to, prioritize a list, or focus on where they need to put effort, or we need to just stop everything and have a dance party and revisit it. So just to know that, kind of this guiding step of how to help us understand these emotions, and also know that emotions aren't all bad, right? And even strong and negative ones aren't all bad. They did do some good in us too. You can go on. So this is just a really short video clip, and I'm sure many of you have heard, the differences between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. The takeaway I want to talk about here is that, the role of a parent and the role of a student, right? Parents can help students prioritize, they can help cheer on, they can help go through these difficult emotion steps, they can support, they can coach, and ultimately we can do all these things and put that amazing trust in our students that they can do the work. I know all parents, including myself, who it is so difficult to watch your child struggle and to have that overwhelming emotion of just wanting to take pain away, or stress away, or things like that. But through these emotions, we learn so much about ourselves. So we can be all of this for our students and for our children. But ultimately, we have to put the trust and in them that they can and will do the work and succeed in their own way, whatever that means. So if you want to play the video, it's just 2.5 minutes or so. Oh, I don't think I hear it. Does anybody else hear it?
No, I think you have to share on the screen
Oh.
sound, which is like a whole other thing.
Oh, no.
How about if I unmute? Let's see if that works.
Yeah. And I can, oh, maybe that would work.
Let's try that.
There we go.
Researcher and Professor Carol Dweck uses the term mindset to describe the way people think about ability and talent. Dweck delineates between two different mindsets that exist on a continuum. The first is the fixed mindset, which suggests that your abilities are innate and unchangeable. The second is a growth mindset, which views it as something you can improve through practice. In a fixed mindset, you view failure as permanent, but with a growth mindset, you see failure as a chance to learn and even pivot. Those with a fixed mindset are more likely to view critical feedback as a personal attack, while those with a growth mindset will see it as a chance to improve, where they can develop new systems. With a fixed mindset, you're more likely to choose easier tasks and put in minimal effort. After all, if talent is fixed, why bother improving? Why even try? But with the growth mindset, you're more likely to embrace challenging tasks and work hard to improve. Those with a fixed mindset are likely to give up when they face an obstacle. Meanwhile, those with a growth mindset will view obstacles as a chance to experiment and solve problems. In a fixed mindset, the focus is on measurable accomplishments. But with a growth mindset, the focus is more on a journey of continual improvement. With a fixed mindset, you're less likely to take creative risks. But with a growth mindset, creative risks are simply a way to innovate and improve. Ultimately, your mindset influences everything from creative risk-taking to how you view feedback to whether or not you finish difficult tasks. And in the end, it's one of the greatest factors in determining whether or not you grow and improve in your abilities.
Oh, and what I love about that and what they pointed out in the beginning is that is a continuum, right? Not everybody is always a fixed mindset or always a growth mindset, but we all live somewhere in the middle. So how do we help our students, maintain that growth mindset, or at least on that, more of that side where we take criticism and say, okay, yes, I can improve. And we kind of want to better ourselves and want to do that. And so through that, we do, we're praising the effort. We're not necessarily focusing on those achievements or getting that A or, winning that game, but we're focusing on the effort that students put into it, because sometimes they put a lot of effort into it and don't get a great outcome. And sometimes they put zero effort into it and get a great outcome. So how do we focus on that effort piece and focus on the work so that we can continue to better ourselves, right? If you want to go to the next one. This is just 5 quick sentences and scripts to build resilience in kids and to build kind of that growth mindset. So not knowing means we can learn something new. It's awesome to learn, so it's awesome to not know. You're right, it is really hard. Good thing you're a kid who can do hard things. It's okay to take a break and take a breath. That's what I do when things feel tricky to me. Learning is supposed to feel difficult, uncomfortable, and frustrating. If it feels that way to you, you're doing it right. I see you building that working hard muscle that's going to pay off for years to come. So, and the important thing is this also has to be in your script as a parent, right? Your authentic self. So whatever kind of, following the lines of that means to you, but also to know that that's authentic to yourself too, because our kids see through what's not authentic in us as well. And lastly, my last slide, I just want to touch base on what is considered normal stress and what is considered anxiety. So when do we need a little bit of extra help? So when we see that child's stress and anxiety are interfering with their life and developmentally appropriate activities and demands, when it's really interfering with those things, it's kind of a red flag where we're like, okay, then we might need to do some extra help here. Intense emotional dysregulation occurring multiple times a week, when sleep habits are disrupted due to worry, typical sleep habits, and when you notice compulsive behaviors, like repeated washing hands, counting, checking things, and when the children are refusing or unable to leave the house without, or, move on from tasks without performing those rituals. So if you want to just click open that Relate Counseling Services, we have a partnership, and I don't know if anybody else knows of them, but they're in Minnetonka. We have a partnership with them through Harley Hopkins as well. They do amazing things. If you want to just scroll a second, they do teens. They do teens, adults, families, couples. They're just a really great resource to, if that stress level feels like, okay, this is not typical stress, and this year's been especially hard on all of us, and we just might need a little bit extra support. This is an amazing resource, and there are multiple other ones too. So I don't normally just kind of present like that. Normally it's kind of give and take. So I want to apologize for talking so much, and I wanted to pause a little bit, but just does anybody have any questions or comments or other resources to share, other ideas to share?
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you for presenting that. There's so much of it I could relate to, as like, looking at it in the view of my child, but at the same time saying my husband and I need to remember that for each other.
Oh my gosh, totally. Yes.
So,
yes.
And then the growth and the fixed mindset, how it's like, I feel like I'm in a very growth mindset in so many areas of my life, but then others I'm in this total fixed. So
that's a great point. And we can
really
be
interesting
really hard on ourselves sometimes, right? And just like thinking about how our students, sometimes we do have to look in the mirror. A lot of times we do have to look in the mirror about how we view struggle, and how we, I see with parents a lot, and myself included, that if I have a hard time struggling, it's going to be a lot harder for me to help my struggling child. And so it just is, or to help, or to let them struggle and let them do it themselves and let them work on it without jumping in at every chance I get. That takes so much work as a parent, from birth to, from when they're just starting to like put little shapes in little toys up until when they're doing really challenging tasks as 4th graders or 5th graders. So it's hard work, but just as much as we can be aware of it, the better off they're going to be, because they're going to be enabled themselves to do it. So.
Awesome. It looks like Betsy has her hand up for a question or a comment.
Yeah, thank you. I'm same line of thought that Stacy had. I was wondering, where do I find the laminated cards of those graphics so I can refer to them in those moments?
Yes, well, I've shared it with you guys. I can share it with anybody. I don't know if you, Erin, can share it also with. Is that
I can definitely. Yeah. I think do that.
Feel
for
free
sure.
To share it further. You can share the whole show, slides, and just to kind of think about it. But yes, those 6, and that's the Gottman Institute, is those 6 difficult or ways to deal with difficult emotions, and they do amazing research on emotional regulation and just all of that stuff, which is with 0 to 5, like 90% of the work I do is talking about emotions and emotional regulation, because it's so important. Yeah, so feel free to share that. Anybody else have any questions or comments?
I think I just shared the presentation, so you should be able to see all the things.
Great. Well, I'll still be here. Yeah. I'm really interested to see kind of where the meeting is taking us. So, but thanks for having me, and let me, you have my email, so feel free to shoot at me any questions that come to mind, because I'm here and this is the work I do. So
thank you so much, Kate. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, so awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
We were hoping to get a little bit of a grant update. We had a second round of grants. Nicole, are you able to unmute and share a little bit about our next round of grants?
Maybe give me a few minutes and I can prep that.
We'll come back to you. How about that?
Yep.
Okay. How about Emily? Are you ready to share about the Mingle?
I sure am.
An exciting update.
Yes. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen. So Meadowbrook Mingle, I can't believe we're already here again. In terms of, just seems like yesterday we closed out a very successful year for the Meadowbrook Mingle. So we are gearing up for our next, and thankfully, drumroll, 10-year anniversary of the Meadowbrook Mingle. So there's gonna be lots of 10s. There's gonna be some surprises. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna capitalize on the decade of the Mingle. as it was as a silent auction. We are gearing up to raise $40,000 for Meadowbrook this year. So we are going to continue to aim high. We raised $32,000 last year. Our goal was not $32,000 at the start. Like we raised it, like we continued to raise the bar because we kept meeting our mark, which showed that a lot of the trial and error that we started with last year, everyone in this community, yourselves included, contributed to that. So thank you for helping us raise $32,000 last year. We are going to again do a virtual event this year. So again, you can remember that it was essentially a year-long or a week-long event. Save the date for April 18th through the 22nd with another virtual family-friendly event to kind of cap out our Meadowbrook Mingle this year. We are looking for a few things and just like to get your brains thinking about maybe people in your own community, in your own family, in your own household, individuals you know within the building that maybe or a school that might have any interest, but we are still soliciting volunteers for anyone who is interested. I will say that a specific, like if you are someone who is in marketing, advertising, PR, you know someone, that is probably like the niche of what we're looking for an additional volunteer. However, we are accepting volunteers regardless of like what your interest, background, professional or otherwise is. So if you yourself are someone who wants to get involved and you're willing to kind of jump in wherever, we have a lot of different opportunities, and we have about 4 other volunteers, including myself, Jody, and Melanie that head up this committee. So if you're interested, please email the meadowbrooksa@gmail.com account and let us know if you're interested. So if you also are interested in donating items, services, or to host a great gathering, and great gatherings, for those who maybe aren't familiar, are those like experiential type gatherings. So we had, you know, like cross-country skiing great gathering hosted by a family, or a or a bike ride hosted by a family. We had like wine dinner nights, we had outdoor concert nights. So if you are someone that wants to host an experiential type fundraising event, absolutely let us know. This year, I think it's important. We had a great conversation with Natalie and Trenton about like, what can we do to support teachers? So I think last year was like heavy lifting for supporting our children. I think that's still important, but we've had a lot of great conversation around kind of the burnout and a little bit of like the despair feeling that we have with our educators. So if you are someone who's connected to like wellness, the wellness community, maybe you own your own yoga studio, maybe you own a food truck and we just don't know about it, but we want to really support our teachers this year and think about ways that we can fundraise around our staff. So that's another specific area that we're looking to target this year. And then also we have some parents that have, you know, kind of message us and say, hey, it'd be great if we had additional bike lock stands and, you know, bike racks outside of the building. So some of the parents, like all of you, maybe recognize things that the staff or us as a committee aren't seeing. So from those fund and need items, last year we funded sensory paths, outdoor furniture, media furniture. Those things were huge fundraisers. So if you think of something as a parent that you've noticed, shoot us an email. Those are types of things that we're kind of collecting to be able to build out a really successful 2022. And then if there are any businesses that are interested in sponsoring the Mingle, we're working together on a sponsorship packet and really looking for interesting ways to bring in businesses that are tied to our community. So all of this is to say, thank you for an amazing 2021. We're going to do amazing things in 2022. And if you're interested in any of this, and it's not going to be none of it, but you're clearly going to be interested in something. So if you're interested, or you know someone who knows someone, feel free to shoot us an email, and we're super excited for another year of the Mingle. And there's a lot of energy behind this year, and we can't wait to see how successful we are. So that's all I have. I'll pause if there are any questions or thoughts on the Mingle this year.
That sounds amazing, Emily.
I mean, the energy is here. We're ready. Let's roll. It's going to be here before we know it. Like, we're all like, oh my God, it's going to be, no, it's going to be here tomorrow. So we're super excited.
Oh, yes, I'm having flashbacks.
Yeah, I know you two know it well. And then last year was like a whole other bag of chips. So
Mhm,
we're just
mhm.
really excited for it and are just so grateful for this community. That's all I have. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you. Oh, Rachel, go ahead.
Hi, excuse my dramatic lighting. My overhead light just burnt out, so I've got a crazy
Yeah.
spotlight here.
Got
Is it right that it's a Monday? Is it Monday, April 18th?
Monday, April 18th kicks
Okay.
off, and then we conclude on the 22nd.
Okay.
So the actual like fun event would be on a Friday.
Or we did it Thursday last year, so it'll be the 21st of it'll be the 21st.
Okay.
And I'm
Awesome.
wondering if Natalie has figured out what kind of tattoo she's going to get, because that's what Jim Haybison just did. So
Trust, I sent it to Jody and was like, do we think we can get Natalie to get a tattoo? Because that was wild.
yeah, they raised like, did they raise 80 something?
I was like, what? We're tattooing ourselves? This is
I
very serious
know.
commitment.
They raised 50,000, but I will tell you, I don't know what it would take for me to get a tattoo.
You don't want a face tat? Like, what's going on here? I don't know.
No.
Like, why not?
And when we talked to, when our whole elementary principal group, when he showed us, we were all like, oh, and the principal at Eisenhower, she showed us her Hopkins blue painted nails and said, this is how, like this, I'll show my love this way.
Yes.
So I know, I'm like, I still have my pink wig. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw that and was like, I have 0 words, and also good job.
We did take a little survey in the front office and decided if Natalie were to get a tattoo, that the best option would be a map of Meadowbrook, like on her calf or something.
Half tattoos. Let's just make it lower back and take us back to like high school, college days, maybe.
Yeah. So we've got some options out there, but I think we got a lot of money before that comes.
I would agree with that statement.
That's awesome.
Well, thank you, everyone. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. We appreciate you.
All right. Should we go back to Nicole, or you want me to go on to other things?
I'm ready now, thanks.
All right. Go ahead, Nicole.
So just a quick reminder, we had 6 grants that we distributed in the first cycle of the grants this year for a total of just under $2,000. And then on this second cycle, we had 2 new grants that were requested that we voted as an executive board to approve. One was from Diane, and she works with some RISE students, and she was looking for some new sewing materials so that they could practice some skills that require calm focus and create something at the same time. And so that was $300 to get a collection of different sewing materials to work with the RISE students. And then Kim Brody is one of the teachers in 2nd grade, and she requested some money to take an extra field trip this year above and beyond those field trips they already had planned. And so the field trip is going to include all of the 2nd graders as well as the 1st and 2nd combined grade classes. And so all together, that's about 160 students. And so she had requested funding for the full ticket price for the kids to go to the children's theater to see Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and also the busing to cover that. And as an executive board, we discussed that the busing should already be covered by the PTO in our budget. We budget $25 per student to go on field trips, and so that should already be within that budget. And so we didn't take that out of the grant budget. And then we decided to just fund half of the request to subsidize the ticket price so that the kids would only be asked to pay for half of the ticket price. So that was a total of $800 that we funded for the 2nd graders to go see a professional performance at the Children's Theater. So out of our total budget, we have about $970 remaining for the third and final cycle.
Awesome. Thank you, Nicole.
Thanks for your work on that.
Yeah.
All right. So I am gonna go ahead and present. Anne, you were gonna say a couple things about the book fair,
Yes,
and I
our
just have
next
to.
event coming up, which is happening this coming Monday, and we're very excited about it.
I'm just gonna open my file. I thought I had it ready. Oh. I too am not very good at Zoom.
Oh, it looks good.
Oh, the book fair. Go ahead, Anne.
Okay, so kind of like Stacy said, it's our next event that we're having on Monday. We're really, Angela and I have been doing this for a few years now and have decided to go in a different direction, and we think it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're just kind of open to seeing how it goes. We're having it at Cream and Amber in downtown Hopkins, and if people haven't been there, it's a really great place. They're closed on Mondays, so they're having the event just for us Meadowbrook families. And it's nice because there is an online option as well. So if you can't come on Monday, you can actually shop even right now. And there's also options of the books being mailed to yourself, or they'll mail them to Meadowbrook, or we will take the books and we'll deliver them, which has always been really fun to get books that have been selected for teachers and put them in their mailboxes. We do have wish lists that we've gotten from all the different grades, and they're published on Cream and Amber. And then they'll also have a ton of other books that people just might, something that they love that they want to donate. And I also asked if there's duplicates or something like that, the teachers can get credit to exchange for a different book. So there'll be coffee and cookies and juice boxes, and it should be super fun.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Anne, for giving some time and planning that. I think it's going to be really awesome.
I think it is too. And I forgot to add to that, one of the co-owners of Cream and Amber is a Hopkins grad. So there's a nice Hopkins connection besides it being in Hopkins.
That is awesome. So we do have service night coming up as well. And Leah, I think you're here, right? I did make a tiny little slide if you don't have something, because I wasn't sure.
I have the blog
awesome.
that I can share, but
Perfect.
I'll just put it in the chat, but I don't have anything other than that, other than my words.
That's awesome. No, that's perfect.
Okay, so we have coming up Service Week. It's all going to be virtual and then some in-school events. And similar to last year where everything was virtual, we're partnering with several different organizations that are in the area. So we're going to partner with Prism. We're going to partner with Linus Project or Project Linus. We are also going to support the Meadowbrook Family Support Fund. So we're asking for donations that will go directly to benefit Meadowbrook families for a variety of different needs that they may have. And then we're partnering with Jewish Family and Children Service of Minneapolis, which is in Golden Valley. And so there's going to be a variety of different different events or things that you can do at home with your family, with your kids. We have all the information up there on the blog, so you can kind of see what the options are. The Prism component is a little bit different this year, and so we've been in touch with them to figure out what it is that they need the most right now. And so we're focusing on personal hygiene products and cleaning products, and also baby wipes. I think they're set for diapers for right now. They'll always take diapers, but they said wipes are a greater need for them. They also will accept, food and other donations, but the greatest needs, or where we'll focus, is on the cleaning products and personal hygiene. We're going to do a friendly competition between the different grades. So there's going to be a little stub that you'll see coming home in the mail in the next few weeks that's just tracking participation. So it doesn't matter if you donate one toothbrush or a whole pallet full of toothbrushes, that is one participation point. And so we'll tally up the points in whichever grade has the most participation. We'll do it by percentage, because we know it's not going to be equal number of students, will win the Golden Service Trophy Award. And going to order a very fun gold over-the-top trophy on Amazon, which we hope will then travel from the different classrooms. And we're also partnering with teachers to try to give them some advance notice about making cards. So cards for the community that will go to JFCS, to really mostly people that are isolated from everything that's happening with the pandemic, a lot of seniors or people that can't get out of their homes. So those cards will go to that. And we'd love it if you could make cards at home and drop them off at school. We'll have bins to collect those at school. We will be collecting some Prism donations at school, but we're also really encouraging people to actually go to Prism to drop those things off there, just to kind of make it more easy, so we're not carting tons of stuff over there. We will have the kindness bingo as well, which is something you can do at home. We did it last year, and those flyers will be coming home with your student in the next few weeks. So look out for those, and just, remind your friends and neighbors. And we hope we had great participation this year. We did earn significant money last year for the Meadowbrook Scholarship Fund, and we hope to do that. I think we earned $600 last year, so we're hoping to beat that goal of $600. So I'm happy to answer any questions too, but that's the general idea, and it's coming up soon, so we hope you all can participate.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. It's fun to get the teachers involved in the Golden Award. That's a great idea. How about an update on our incentives? Kate, do you have any kind of advice or words on how we're doing on our incentive projects?
I do. I put together just a couple slides. Let me see if I am savvy enough to share. Know if you guys can see. Got it? Perfect. All right. So I think we all know how incentives are used, so I won't spend a lot of time on that. But two main programs that we have, Box Tops for Education and then Amazon Smile. And I would say with Box Tops, we have opportunity to improve. So to use the language there, our goal this year was 1,000. So far, we've earned 121. And so I think that with this program, definitely lost some steam throughout the pandemic, right? Of people bringing things in, and then they converted everything to digital. So I think that moving forward, would love if everyone on this meeting and then can spread the word about the easiest ways to earn, because as I've dug into it more, I think that the program, by making it digital, they have made it really easy to earn this credit for Meadowbrook. All that you have to do is scan your receipts with their app. So download the app, scan the receipt, and then anything that's on there will automatically credit back to Meadowbrook once you've signed up through Meadowbrook. And I think that even easier is to just tell grandma about it, like we did in our house, and grandma has already earned us multiple dollars from Meadowbrook, scanning those receipts very seriously. So I would say that if you yourself are not a big shopper of General Mills products, tell your family about it, tell your grandparents, and that's another way, whether it's through the soups or rolls or whatever it may be, that you can have them scan and get the additional credit. And then the app will notify you of bonus offers. So right now, I believe there's a bonus offer with Annie's and Target. If you have a young child in your home like I do that loves the Annie's shells and cheese, not the elbow noodles, it's got to be the shells. If they like the shells, you can get extra credit through those types of offers. If you prefer to clip out box tops, we still have a collection bin by the front office, and I will be collecting those at the end of the month to mail them into General Mills. And then, as I mentioned, they also have special offers like a February sweepstakes that's happening right now. So if you shop and scan by 2/28, you could help enter us to win 5,000 additional box tops. I'll do my best Vanna White there. And then I think the next program that we have, Amazon Smile, makes it even easier. So easy that you can't not do it. We have earned over $2,000 so far via Amazon, and all you have to do is shop through smile.amazon.com and then select the Meadowbrook School PTO as your charity. So for those of us that are frequent shoppers of the ease of Amazon, it's a really, really easy way to give credit back to the school. So I think my 2 tips on incentives are tell the grandparents about it for box tops, and then Amazon Smile, select Meadowbrook School PTO as your charity. So I think doing well with Amazon, again, they make it so easy that it's really easy to rack up those dollars. But with box tops, anything that we can do to just spread the word about the ease of the app is greatly appreciated, because it's another way to help us raise money.
Box tops for me seemed so frustrating when I first started, because it's like I take the time, I scan my receipt, and I get 10 cents or I get nothing. And I was like, oh, but those bonuses, I have to say, are just amazing. I'm like, the one they actually have right now is at Target. If you buy any General Mills, any General Mills products, 5 of them, you get an extra $5 in your account. And I'm like, it's so easy. So that's where I really made some money on my account, is on those bonuses. So Erin and I like to kind of compete with.
Yes, and I'm a shipped shopper. So
Yeah,
the
I am too.
receipts, like literally if I type in R on my email, when I forward it, just that's the first thing that comes up. So it's super easy. And the Amazon too, it used to not be the app, but now shopping in the app, you can get the Smile as well. I just renewed mine today.
I did
so
too. Yeah, it pops up as a reminder. You need to renew it once a year. So really easy to do both of those. So
yeah, and when you do refer a friend too, if they shop, then you get additional, I think it's like an additional 20 box tops too. So
awesome.
They've definitely gamified it for us.
Yes,
totally.
Good. And the box at the front office did get removed, but
it did. Okay.
Yep, we removed it. Once it moved to digital, there just wasn't as many coming in, but they'll take them in the front office anytime that you'd like to drop off. We can collect
I'll
them.
check with them then.
Betsy, did you have a question or a comment?
Yeah, thank you. Kate, I'm literally texting my mom right now and asking her if she'll do box tops for us, and she's like, yes. So related specifically to that refer a friend, is that all right in the app on how to do that?
Yep.
Or
so if you go into the app, there's a little link up in the right hand corner, I believe, where you can refer a friend. So if you go into the app on the menu, there's a share with a friend, and then they'll get the link and download the app and be able to give us credit back.
You should share with your favorite Meadowbrook friend too, then.
There you go.
Oh yeah, it's at the top. Invite friends.
Yeah.
There we go. Then you can compete with your friends like Erin and I do, because we're really cool like that.
Created a monster with my mom. Now every time that she gets a credit, she texts me, and I'm like, that's really good, Mom. I'm excited.
And I will say that there have been times when I know I've purchased a product that should receive credit, but it doesn't show up. So I actually just make a little note in the app, and they get back to me within a couple of days, and they say, oh, we're sorry, we missed that credit, and they credit the account. So I'm a stickler, like I know I shopped that product. So
yeah,
that doesn't surprise me about you at all. Well, Kate, we really appreciate you taking over our incentives and getting word out a little and education out about this program, because I know it's a really easy money maker for us, and we just gotta get that education out there. So thank you, appreciate it.
Make it easy for sure.
Awesome. Just a couple more updates. We'll see it. Rachel, are you ready to share anything about our teacher appreciation? Speaking of, we kind of mentioned that already, but tell us what's going on with teacher appreciation.
I sure am ready. 1 second here. right. How do I? Okay. All right, so the Meadowbrook PTO Teacher Appreciation Committee has been doing some work. We have 2 updates to share with you tonight. The first is that we will be providing meals again to our Meadowbrook teachers during their upcoming conference days. And it just, we did the same thing in the fall, and it was very well received, and it worked really slick. And we, at the time, took some donations of money and some of food, and those were very much appreciated by the staff and by us on the committee. And in the next couple of days, we're going to have the ability for people to sign up either to supply a certain amount of food or certain kind of food. You can make a monetary donation, and you can also help if you want to be in the building for setup or cleanup. And the times that we select that are listed here on the slide will be communicated in those outreach efforts. So it'll either be via email or via Facebook. We are kind of putting together that list right now of the menu, and we'll allow people to simply pick something in a Sign Up Genius type of format. And specifically the things that we will be looking for, like the committee ourselves will do the effort to bring the main dishes. So we'll be seeking various dessert sides and like some gluten-free or vegan alternatives. And it will all be very straightforward. We are allowed to bring home-cooked things to this, despite COVID. So that was a question that we had asked specifically before the last event, and received permission to bring in home-cooked things. And our current plan is to do kind of a Mexican-themed dinner on Thursday, February 17th, and then lunch on Friday will probably be soup and or chili and salads and sides. So everyone can watch for those updates shortly. The second thing that we're working on, and it's been kind of a work in progress, is we are working to update the staff lounge. And this is a project that a couple generations of the Teacher Appreciation Committee have been working on, and it got kind of sidelined like so many things due to COVID. This is the room approximately as it stands. Last summer, there was kind of a big cleanup of the room, and it was freshly painted and some new cabinets were put in. And so it is a functional space and there's nothing too terrible about it, but our goal is to update the space, give them some more options for using the room, and have it be a place that's a little calmer, a little bit more relaxing for our teachers who, and the rest of the staff that work so incredibly hard for our kids every single day. We do have a budget set aside specifically for this project, but will be seeking donations from our caregiver community in the form, again, of either money, specific items, and or labor. And this is another thing that you can look forward to more communication about in the next 7 to 10 days, because we would like this space done and ready for the teachers and staff to enjoy for the rest of the year by the end of spring break. And we might need to use some of that spring break time, though we have to coordinate the days that we'll actually be doing work. We still have to communicate that with admin in the building. So you can see this is the space as it exists. We are going to keep the paint on the walls, and so our goal is to have it look something like this. Obviously, it depends a bit on exactly what resources we end up with after we do our donation collection. But you can see that there in these spaces, there's kind of more mixed seating. There is just a little bit of art. There is some elements that are a bit more fun, a bit more comfortable. these two pieces on the right-hand side are for some color palettes that let us take advantage of that bluish gray paint that's already there, so we don't have to use budget to repaint that. Our goals for the upcoming kind of donation drive, if you will be to add these things that are listed on the right. We would like to add some more comfortable seating, some better and softer lighting. We want to make the space feel a bit more homey and have it be a place where staff actually look forward to spending some time. I'd like to add some durable rugs, a TV, some pillows. There's been a couple of kitchen items that have been identified as helping the staff better use the space, like this additional Keurig and toaster. And we will probably need a cart of some kind in order to have a secondary coffee station so that we can have these things plugged into more than one outlet. And then in addition, we want to add some fun things, and we will have messaging about what that might look like, where possibly each grade level can contribute some art. And then we also want to make some spaces to have a message board amongst the staff and a place to share kudos and ask questions. We did do via an email to staff and ask if there were any specific things that staff wanted to see in the space. And we got precisely no feedback on that. And so much of this is kind of our ideas as the committee, our ideas that we have seen via researching, looking at the ever popular Pinterest. And so if any of you have any ideas, if you know staff that have any ideas, you're free to email our committee at mbappreciation@gmail.com. And like I said, we are going to have a specific push for donations in the next 1 to 2 weeks. And so you will see that either via your email from the Meadowbrook PTO and or on the Facebook feed.
What about like a newspaper subscription or like a magazine subscription?
Those are very good ideas. I am not positive what the appetite for, like I know doctor's offices, a lot of them have like taken those kind of shared items away. I personally like them. Another option is that I know in the past, like parents, for example, we had National Geographic, like we could turn that over easily every month after we have looked at it. So if I think there absolutely are opportunities. I know in National Geographic, you can gift a subscription to an organization. And I think that that is a fantastic idea. I will make a note of that right now. And you also could send an email to that Gmail address.
I was just being lazy. I didn't want to email.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, that's a great idea.
It is absolutely a great idea. I will make a note of it. That would be a good thing that people could add. That I think that would add to the space.
I taught for a long time, and I just remember teachers reading the newspaper in the lounge, or if they don't want to talk to each other, something to read.
I do, yeah. I understand that completely. So, all right.
For Natalie, if just to get a little more direct staff responses, could somebody from the committee maybe hang out in the lounge during lunch on a day and get like direct feedback from teachers, or
even during those conference meals?
Yeah.
We did during the conference meals, we had planned to at least make a gentle ask because we will happen to be on site there anyway. But I did not think to come during other lunch times. Do you think that coming during another lunchtime is necessary, or do you think this Thursday and Friday, which it does fit our timeline to kind of get some last minute requests before we put out that last ask amongst our community?
That's good.
Okay. All right. Yep. We will be there and try to. We were a little bit. I mean, of course, I understand people are fully inundated with requests and emails, but we were like, oh, no feedback. Well, and I think that we would like to have some of that input and not just impose what we think is useful.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for all your work on it. We're excited to see what's going to come.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
All right, just a few last updates for you guys. I appreciate everybody being here and giving individual updates. One event that is currently happening is Book Swap. Book Swap is happening at school. Right now we're gathering books. So from donations from individual families, if you go through your bookshelves and you've got extra stuff, please drop it off at school, send it in with your child. We're collecting everything outside of the library right now and then getting things organized. Book Swap will happen on February 24th and 25th at school. Again, it won't be something that each individual family will need to be there for. The kids will get books at school, but we do need some parent volunteers that would be willing to be on site to help out with the organizing, with helping children make selections and such. So we have a Sign Up Genius that we just put into the chat. Natalie is also included in her Friday emails. So if you have time on February 24th, 25th, or the few days before that, I think is some help is needed as well. This is a really awesome way for us all to get rid of books in our house and bring in some new books at no cost to our families. And as an event we're really excited we were able to bring back this year, as we haven't had it for the last few. So
awesome. Jen, I do have some pictures from the Art Adventures. Do you want to share a little bit about Art Adventures?
Oh, sure. You're just going to show the pictures? Cool.
Yeah, I put them in this little slide thing. So
oh, great.
No. Just a short, teeny, like, yay, we're having people in the building doing fun stuff.
Yeah, and it's funny, the art in the background is actually a classroom art, but the art that they're holding is basically they're creating a mask there that goes with one of the sets for Art Adventure. And they've also created a couple other projects that have been really fun. There's just so much going on. I mean, I've done this 3 years now, and it's just tons of fun. The kids love it, all ages. They're really appreciative of it. Teachers seem to love it too. And we're so happy that PTO, here they're making these sound bracelets out of pipe cleaners. And then there was a bunch of trinkets that they'll put on it, because one of the pieces we looked at was actually a sound suit that's on display at MIA. So when they finish their final session, a colored handout is going to go home reminding them of all the 6 pieces of art that we've studied, and then they can speak to their parents about it, and then just encouraging them to take advantage of the free admission to MIA. And seeing these art pieces in person means a ton. I was on a field trip a couple years ago with the 3rd graders, and having them see it and just ooh and ah over it was just great. So can't say enough about it. Thank you.
I do not know how to work Zoom. Can we do Google Meet next time? I was on mute telling you all about the yearbook. Where'd that go? Can you see the yearbook? I don't know how many yearbooks have been ordered, but the deadline is March 25th. And it's super easy. I'll put the link in the chat to get to the yearbook form. And so we're just plugging yearbooks. We're working on those. We're back to Life Touch. 2 more things to plug. One being Royal Bash, the HEF Gala is in person and virtual this year. And we are offering up a drawing for any volunteer at the PTO that has volunteered in the last calendar year for the PTO for a pair of tickets. That's a $200 value.
And we know there has been over 200 families, 200 parents at Meadowbrook that have volunteered in the last year, and we have exactly 6.
Oh, I think 7.
One person did it twice. Oh, we have 6 people that have signed up for these tickets. So put your name in there and come join us at the HEF Royal Bash. It's a really great event, and it'd be free to use.
And I think it's plaid this year, so you don't have to wear anything fancy either.
Oh, I got some plaid.
So plaid to be together.
So glad to be together. And then last but not least, we're having a restaurant night at on March 10th at Noodles. There'll be more info on that because that's a little bit away, but just wanted to plug that really quickly. And that's all we have for today. Unless anybody has anything else exciting to add, or
just so many fun events coming up at Meadowbrook, and look at that, it took us like 45 minutes just to talk about all the events that are happening.
I know. We are having a free outdoor fun, we're going to call it like spring fling movie night in the spring. Run Meadowbrook Run is coming back. They don't have a for sure date, so we won't put anything for sure about that, but it's coming back. Okay. So we're really excited for the spring and opportunities for us to be together in person and also like doing fun stuff for the kids.
So, but this Monday, I'll see you all at the book fair.
That's right.
At Cream and Amber in Hopkins. So thank you all. Does anybody have anything else they needed to add other than good night?
Awesome.